You know, we're sitting in this meeting room here. I can remember Bob Mulcahy, our athletic director, when we came here, he said, we're gonna build an addition onto this building. I said, Bob, we need to. And we did it, right? So we're sitting in a better facility than we were. You go to those practice fields, that's certainly a lot better than we had with the light poles falling down, right? That weight room, I mean, we are definitely well ahead. I'll tell you this, and this will be a good little story for everybody. So we would alternate going to the Twins game or going to Joey's game. And one night, we were going to fly into Albany to go up to Williams College. And I said to Christy, it was right in the middle of this stuff, and I said to Christy, why don't we fly into Newark and just take a ride around Rutgers? Because if this thing works out, I want to see what, I haven't been back in a long time. So I got a hat, this is silly, right, and glass. I had my reading glasses on. And I kind of walked like this through the airport so no one would see me. And we came down and I drove around, and I went on the Livingston campus. I didn't even know where I was. It's unbelievable what you have accomplished, the buildings you've put up, unbelievable. So I'm like, wow. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, when we used to recruit, we never even told them there was a Livingston campus, okay? So then I go, well, let's go down College Ave, see what's down there. And we're driving around, I'm like, well, this is beautiful, look at this. Where the seminary used to be, there's those beautiful buildings. Then we get down to the end, and I see the big clock on the new bookstore. And I look to my right, and there's this unbelievable, and it was a Friday night, and there was action, and there was energy. I'm like, I said to her, I turned to Chris, and I said, oh, I hope this works. I mean, we recruited these players with nothing. I mean, literally, it was a great academic school, but it wasn't like, compared to other campuses, we kind of hid the campus. Now I can't wait to get our recruits out on that campus, show them, proud, stand up, say, look at this, look at that, because there's no place nicer. I'm telling you right now, it is beautiful. So, to answer your question, I think we're in better position to make our move, and I can't wait to do it.
TodrickHunterNJ.com. Coach, with less than 1 month left until early signing period, how do you plan to attack recruiting for 2020 on short time?
It's going to be very difficult, Todrick. I'm going to tell you right now. We have literally, counting today, 8 school days left. So when we're done, we're going to do some things here, and then I'm heading out to see some players. And we just got to do that. We've been on the phone with players just constantly. And you know what? We're not going to rush and just fill up guys to say we signed guys. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to take guys that are Rutgers men, guys that we know love the game of football. Because when they love football, then all the other stuff that maybe they're not so motivated to do, they're going to do it. Because they know the coach they play for, you take care of business, otherwise you don't get to go do what you love. And that's been the way we do it, right? And I'm not going to tell you, I love coaches who say, I treat everybody the same. Well, if you do, that's crazy, because they don't treat you the same. I treat everybody fair. But there's a certain level that every player on the team must accomplish, must do. And that's it. There's no exceptions to that. I don't care, it didn't matter if it was Brian Leonard or Ray Wright, it didn't matter who it was. They were going to do this. Now, you earn equity. That's the way it works in the real world, right? So when you build equity and you have a little mishap, okay, we'll get that fixed. When you don't have much equity, it's not that easy. So we're going to go out and find players that want to be here. Does that make sense?
It does, Coach. Thank you.
Sullivan from the Boston Globe. Greg, I want to ask you about your time away from the college game in particular, obviously going back to Tampa, but even more recently in New England. When you left the NFL behind, in that time, what did you learn about yourself, or why did you do that, and what is it about the college game in particular that brought you back here?
Well, I'll tell you, it's since I left here 8 years ago, a lot has happened, and some of that's been in pro football. I learned a ton. I've been humbled. But the people that you really know got your back, like Bill Belichick. I started working there, and I loved working there, but I just felt coaching's a very selfish business. And like I said earlier, my wife Christy, she raised our kids, and I tried to jump in when I could. And I just felt like it had been about me for 30 years, and it was time to to work on myself a little bit and spend time with my children and my wife. And it was the best 8 months that I've had. But you know what? I had a boss in Bill Belichick who is a true friend, and he was awesome. He understood, and he gave me his blessing, and that's really what made it easier to do. I'll always cherish those memories. But as I reflected over those 8 months, I realized that what I've been put on earth, what I've been blessed to do, is not only coach the game of football, but use it as a platform to take young men and turn them into grown men and put them out there. You know, I always tell parents when we recruit their sons, your job's not done, but we're gonna help you finish the process. And the only reason we're recruiting your son is we believe in him as a young man. So we're going to make sure that he finishes his development, and we're going to be the parents away from home. And I think that's something that I'm blessed with, my wife, with the players, and really the staff we're going to put together. That's a key component.
Greg, Mike Pedlichko, WCTC Radio. A lot of the stuff you say sounds like the Greg Schiano from the 2000s, 2006, which is great. How have you, in the time though that you've been in the NFL as a head coach, been in a national powerhouse like Ohio State, how have you changed as a head coach? The athletes, I'm sure, have changed. Student athletes have changed in that time as well.
Well, there's no doubt a lot's changed, right? I mean, social media alone is a whole world that didn't exist. So being able to adapt to that stuff, I think, like I mentioned in Tara's question, you know, when you're humbled a little bit, you really reflect on, you know, where could I have been better? I always think when things don't go right, you need to look at your first, you know, in the mirror first. What could I have done better? There's a saying that I've really tried to stick to in the last 5 years or so, and that's keep the main thing the main thing. I think a lot of times you can get worried about every single thing, and yeah, sure, everything's important, but if everything's important, nothing's important. And I think I've learned that I'm in charge of the main thing, and I got to keep focused on the main thing. There are going to be other people that can take care of other stuff, but when someone trusts their son with me, I got 4 kids. Anybody messes with my kids, that's going to be a bad day, right? But when they trust their kid with me, I got a big, big responsibility, and I got to make sure I keep my focus on them. So players is players is the biggest focus, whereas the first time around, it was plays, it was schemes, it was techniques. I'll hire really, really good coaches, and they're gonna be excellent at that. And I'll help because I have 30 years of experience, but I have a responsibility to those parents. I got your son. I ultimately am in charge, so I got your son, and I got to make sure that I carry that out. And that's probably the biggest, not that I didn't do that, but I think my focus is even going to be more on that this second go around.
Bruce Beck, WNBC TV. Greg, in December of 2000, you said this program will be built on a rock foundation. It will take longer than building it on stilts, but when it's built, it will be built forever. So what's your message December of 2019 regarding building this program again?
It's a really good question, Bruce. I'm a little disappointed because we said it would be built forever, and now here we stand, right? So I need to alter a few things because there's going to come a day when I'm not the coach here anymore. And just as I think I told Pat and Greg both this. The last 8 years, I followed Rutgers. That was my team. Now, I didn't let everybody know that, but whether I was coaching in the NFL, I checked the scores, I read the stories. I always wondered and wanted to know what's happening at Rutgers. And I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I got disappointed when things didn't go well. We need to adjust a few things because we do need to build this program to last. The state of New Jersey deserves that. Rutgers University deserves that. So we're going to have to adjust some things. But it will be built to last, I promise you.
Coach David Cruz, NJTV News. Governor Murphy's predecessor did not speak well of you. He compared you unfavorably to Bear Bryant and Urban Meyer. He said that you're an unemployed football coach and now wants taxpayers of the state to pay for his private air travel. Feeling welcome?
I am. Yeah, I am welcome. But Chris and I, we go back a long way, and we're fine. I take no offense. People are going to say things. I know this, that he wants what's best for New Jersey, too, and we'll be fine. Not a problem.
Coach, Bobby Darren, 24/7 Sports. Welcome back. You spent some time with, you spent some time with Urban Meyer. What did you really take away from that experience as a coach?
Well, it was really unique because Urban is a good friend of mine, a really good friend, very, very close. And, you know, initially there was no way I was going to go be an assistant. You know, I'm not going to go be it. But he is one of the more persuasive people that I've ever met. And what I learned working there for 3 years, I thought that I was the hardest working coach in recruiting, right? And I learned that I wasn't. And I learned some ways to be a better recruiter. And if I said one thing, I would take that away from my time, is that there's certain things you can do to really exponentially pop your recruiting. So I'm excited to do that, because we did a pretty good job here recruiting. But that's the lifeline of your program. And you know, I learned a lot of stuff, and I hope he learned some stuff from me. You know, we're really good friends, but that would be the biggest thing.
Coach, we're going to take a couple more. We're going to go here.
Okay.
There.
Greg, Tom Canavan with the Associated Press.
Your microphone.
Oh, good. All right. 10 days ago, the university put out a statement saying talks a day. What happened? What was your initial feeling when that happened, and what changed to make the talks end up where we are today?
Well, I thank God that they did. I really do. And I prayed for that to happen. You know, I really, but that's what happened right there. Those people and several more. And me too, right? I think there's never been a moment where all of us didn't want the same thing, because this is a top flight university, period. So everything that's associated with it needs to be that, right? I think sometimes you go through things and there's different ways, there's definitely different ways to skin the cat. We know that. And I think what happened is we really communicated well. When it looked like it might be going off the rails, I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. And even more so after we took that little secret trip and saw how beautiful the place has really become. But I was hopeful, and these men here and some other people, you know, that helped me out, really did a great job. And it reminds me, I want to thank Jimmy Sexton and his group, because they did an incredible job on our part, helping get this thing to the goal line as well. So I think it was a collection of really smart people that decided this is what's best. So let's find a way to get it done.
Go back here and then last one. Todd.
Todd Jacona, NJ.com. Coach, you were known as a pro style and a 4-3 guy the first time around. Will that change this time around? And if so, how will the type of personnel you recruit change from the past?
Well, I think that goes back to Tara's question again. You know, what did I learn in those 8 years in pro football? The one thing about pro football that's different, it's a matchup game. I mean, everything is about matchups. So we are going to have to really take advantage of that. So schemes, you know, you got 11 guys. We're not talking about rocket science here. You got 11 guys, you got to figure out where to put them. You got to give them a chance to be successful. And coaching football is that simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. So we have to make sure that we have flexibility to fit the personnel we have. So to say we're pro style, or we're a spread team, or an RPO team, or a 4-3 or a 3-4, it doesn't matter. The thing that matters, we'll do whatever it takes to win. What matters is that our players love each other, that they're willing to put it on the line for each other, they're willing to play incredibly hard. You know, football is not a natural game. You go to a family picnic, they play pickup hoops, they play wiffle ball. No one goes and puts a hard shell helmet on and then runs into somebody. That's just not natural. So when you get players that do that, right, they got to have something inside of them that they're doing it for. And the most important thing, that our players and our coaches do it for each other. When they do that, we can make Rutgers proud, we can make New Jersey proud.
Last question.
Greg, James Crouch, NJ.com. The offense has been near the bottom national the last 4 years. You're going to probably have your 11th offensive coordinator in 11 years. What is your vision for the offense? How do you fix that going forward?
Well, like I just said, I don't think to call it a name, because I don't want to do that. You look at a team that won the most Super Bowls and is the best organization ever in pro sport. 1 week, Patriots will run the ball 50 times and throw it, 14. Flip the next week, they throw it, run it 14 and throw it 50. I mean, we're going to do what it takes to win. Now, offensively, what I believe and how I've grown, I think you have to make teams defend you from sideline to sideline. So we're not going to be, if you get in tight, there's a reason. We want to make them defend 53 in the third, and we also want to make them defend deep. So if that gives you a little insight, it's going to be people all over the place and make the defense, because as a defensive coach, I hate when they do that too, right? So we're gonna make people do that, and we're gonna hire a staff that's experts at doing those things, both offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. And that's really, really important to me, because they need to do their job. I need to let them do their job, and I need to make sure I do my job. That's gonna be the key. I want to, we good? I just want to say, we need everybody's help. You have a job to do, we have a job to do, but if anybody in this great state of New Jersey is listening, we need everybody to galvanize. You did it. You did something incredible, but now we need to take it to the next level, to the next level. We need to focus on that spot, and we need to chop away. I really appreciate everybody coming out here today. I thank you.